welcome to Saturday Night at the Movies, the podcast that celebrates classic, cult, and current films and television, and the people that made them, and many other aspects of pop culture. I'm your host, Steve Rubin. Our producer is Ben Shrewsbury, and our signature theme was composed by Greg Lerhoff. Here it's always Saturday night, and our mission is to chronicle film and pop cultural history one memory at a time. Tonight, I join my three writing partners as we introduce you to a new sci-fi comedy movie experience that premieres on Saturday, February 28th at 4 p.m. at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood, the iconic Chinese Theater, as part of the Golden State Film Festival. It's unique because it's the first feature-length audio podcast, yes, I did say audio, movie to get a festival debut in Los Angeles. And here are my co-writers on Spacemen from Planet Judy. Welcome Bob Destri Hilgenberg, best known for writing Tinkerbell and many other films for Disney.
Did she write you back, Bob?
It's still waiting. It's
Okay.
been a long
Okay.
wait. Yeah, I'm out on the roof every night.
Very sad. She's got
you,
that
Billy.
reputation, by the way. Go ahead.
Bruce Smirnoff, a well-known stand-up comedian and a good friend of ours, and two-time Emmy and Globe-nominated comedy writer Billy Riback, well-regarded for his work on the Home Improvement series. And of course, myself, your host, Steve Rubin. Welcome, gentlemen.
Yes.
Hello.
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 How are you? Nice to see you, Steve Rubin.
So we're going to start by going into a time machine, a little science fiction element itself. We're going to go back to the year 1984.
Oh, my God.
I did not know any of you until I decided to go to a dating service called Great Expectations.
Okay, you realize that right now people are going, oh, God. What happened? Oh, God. You better explain very quickly, Steve.
Well, I wanted to meet a girl. I'd been part of the studio unit publicity world for 10 years, and I was never in town. I came home with no social life, no female companionship. I said, I saw an ad for something called Great Expectations, and I went in there, and the person who sold me my membership was Mr. Bob Destri Hilgenberg.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was my, as an actor, that was my waiting tables job. I decided instead of waiting tables, I would sell memberships to the guys like Steve Rubin, desperate guys like Steve.
But think about how weird this whole thing is. Had you not taken that job, had Steve, even though he's handsome, had no self-respect whatsoever, and gone to this dating service. It's weird. It's just very strange.
Yeah, no, it is. It really is.
So tell them what happened, because it's a very funny story.
Well, basically, Bob and I, as you can tell, Mr. Destri Hilgenberg has one of the great personalities in Hollywood. How can you not like him immediately?
Thank you, Steve.
And we both started talking about show business and writing. And before you could say lickety split.
Wait a minute. That's very dirty at a dating service. You can't say lickety. You can't say lickety split. You just can't. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Hard to undo that. You got, please, let's start over.
You can say Jack Robinson. There's a 1930s reference.
Oh, my God.
So anyway, Bob and I started writing together. We actually became writing partners for a brief time. We wrote a wonderful play called Comebacker.
Hold on. People want to know, did you meet a girl? Let's get to the real essence of the story.
Of course not. Actually, I went out with one girl, and it turned out to be a bust.
Okay.
Not.
Okay. It's okay. Joke's not good enough to even dwell on. Go ahead.
Anyway, Bob and I had a lot of fun, and basically what was happening. By the way, we wrote an original comedy called Film School, which
I forgot about that. Oh my God, with Paul Newman's son-in-law, brothers. Wait.
Oh, Scott Woodward. Well, actually, I'm not even sure who you're talking about.
Yeah, Scott Woodward, Joanne Woodward's brother.
Yeah, stepbrother. I actually worked with Scott at that time in an electronic press kit company. I think he was involved, but I don't think he was involved in anything other than thinking of getting involved in producing, which he never did.
Yeah, he was gonna. We actually did some writing at his office. I remember somewhere in the valley.
Right. Okay, we're veering off course. Let's get
all right.
Back
Sorry,
to
people though, Billy. People like to hear the little, name drops. You got Joanne Woodward and Paul Newman.
I need names of those people that are interested in that. I
So,
really do.
so
All right, please write in, folks.
So Bob kept on telling me about these three schmoes. No, they weren't schmoes. They were nice guys.
They were schmoes.
They were three comics who had an idea for a movie. And every so often, Bob would mention it, and I finally said to him, "Bob, how come they're not writing this movie? It actually sounds pretty funny." And what I learned was that the three guys, Mark Goldstein, who we'll talk about in a minute, Bruce and Billy, really were not typists. They didn't know how to type. So before I could say anything, I was summoned, and I became part of a five-man writing team. But before we get into the physical writing of Spacemen from Planet Judy, I want to go back and talk to Bruce and Billy about where did the idea come from? Where did the idea, and basically what we're talking about essentially is a fleet of spaceships arrives on Earth to abduct all of the gay men on the planet.
Why?
I'm sorry?
Why?
Because they're going to take them back to the gay haven world of the universe called Judy, named after, of course, Judy Garland.
Okay.
The
But
story
why?
based.
But why? There's a reason.
Oh, why are they
To
abducting
free them from straight oppression. That was the whole thing.
That's it.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
to free
Well,
them from oppression.
that's why it's called a gay haven world. They're going to find haven there. And of course, our story is about Mitch and Lenny, who actually are straight, but unfortunately, there was a mix-up in their Halloween costumes. There was a prank played on them, and now they're dressed in drag, and they are abducted too. As I tell everybody, and I know it's an old reference, and it's just between the four of us. If Abbott and Costello were still making movies at a ripe age in the 21st century, they would probably make Abbott and Costello go to a gay planet. And Billy, why did you do that? Don't do that. Anyway,
I got a call in the middle, so it's occasionally unpopular.
okay.
How to get rid of them, that's all.
So Bruce and Billy, tell me how the idea came to you guys.
Bruce
Well, can
knows.
I just want to ask a quick question too. So you guys had the idea? I don't remember that. It wasn't
Oh,
the
yeah.
five of us.
It was not. It was not. I think it was Bruce and Mark mainly. Bruce, do you
It
remember
was-
what happened? I kind
Yeah,
of remember, but tell us.
Of course I do. It's really a knockoff of a cartoon, Little Audrey.
Yeah,
And I remember watching it when I was a little kid, and it's raining, and she wanted to go out and play, and
right.
it's ruining her day. And she goes, "I wish it would never rain again." And of course, it didn't, and the plants were dying. And the plant, remember, the plant is going, "Help, help!" And someone would come by with an eyedropper of water and put it on the lip, and the plant would go, "Oh!" And that was so. One day, living in West Hollywood, whatever I said, I would, "Gee, I wish all these gay guys would just go away." Whatever, that kind of thought in your head. And I went, "That's funny. What would happen to the earth?" Because obviously with the drought, the plants, everyone wanted the water back. So I said, what would happen if all the gays were taken away? And you laugh. No one would have good haircuts. No one would know how to dress. No one would be eating well anymore. And all the funny things. I said, it's really a switch. And I called Billy. I said, "What do you think? I think you like the idea." And then that was it from there. And then and Goldstein, we had a partner, Mark Goldstein, can't join us tonight on the podcast. And I would run everything by Mark. Mark loved it. And Billy and Bob and Steve. That's how we all got together.
Well,
And
what's amazing is it's so many years ago, and every
Yeah.
kind of alien has been depicted in a film. I mean, every variation, and still nobody has done a story about gay aliens. It's so obvious. It's so obvious, and no one has thought of it except us 40 years ago. But let's be honest and let's describe what happened, because we wrote it, and then
Well,
Steve?
let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Oh goodness, there we are.
There's intimate details there. Unfortunately, I'm cut off. I'm the guy. The only thing showing in the background is my beard, but I'm
Good beard.
I'm wearing a Toronto Blue Jays t-shirt, which I got in Toronto on the Space Hunter Adventures in the Forbidden Zone tour. But there we are, Billy on the left, Bruce, Bob, and there's Mark Goldstein. He was one of our partners, the late Mark Goldstein. Sadly, he's not with us anymore, but I have a feeling he's somewhere with us in spirit.
I doubt it.
But a classic Goldstein picture. Half of the shirt is tucked in, and half is not tucked in. Look, it's hilarious. Who does that? At least my shirt is completely out. His is only half. It's just he couldn't make up his mind. It's hysterical to me. But anyway, go ahead, Steve.
And look at you,
Yeah,
Billy.
I'm
You
shocked
look
your
like-
shirt is open, Billy. I don't recall you ever having your shirt.
You know, I know. No. Well, that's actually a tube I'm wearing on my chest.
God. Any opportunity for Billy to get naked and walk around.
Listen, if you hadn't complimented me, Bob, I wouldn't have done it. Anyway,
I mean, this is a very interesting group of guys. They're being pictured in my apartment where they moved in the summer of '84, the Olympic summer in LA. A lot of people were concerned about pole vaulting and long distance running. We were talking about Judy. So we decided, I invited everybody to my apartment every day. And as I've told people for years, I felt like I was in a room with the Marx Brothers. I really did. Because you guys, I don't know if you remember this.
Which one was Zeppo? That's what I want to know.
Probably me, Billy, because you guys would act out scenes. And Mark being an actor, being a frustrated actor, and Bob being a frustrated actor, and Bruce and Billy both having acting aspirations to a certain extent. It was actually a fun thing. And I remember specifically after each day of writing, we would kiss the pages. It was a ritual for us.
That's right. We'd pass it around and kiss the pages.
We've just turned off any potential fans from the entire project.
I remember, I want to talk about Steve typing. Steve would type and laugh so hard.
Yeah.
While he was typing, that his feet would kick. Do you remember when Steve would kick his feet
of course,
like a toddler on its back?
Absolutely.
He would be screaming and
absolutely.
Kick. Yeah.
It was like he was driving a paddle boat.
I was like a beetle turned upside down with my feet flying in the air. No, it's so true. It's so true. I mean, we actually also had to deal with everybody's idiosyncrasies, meaning Mark Goldstein. Mark Goldstein was one of these guys. Just to give you a little insight into Mark. Mark wasn't sure where he was sleeping every night because I think he was.
And that's not because he was getting laid a lot. Let's be clear.
But he would always walk in the door and say, because he had recently written a horror movie that takes place on a miniature golf course called Death Putt. And he would talk about the money's in, the money's coming in, the money's coming in. The money never came in.
Yeah, every day he'd come in, the money's in, but he would say that as kind of a little bit of respectfully, a little bit of a grift that we then, when he wanted a 10 spot from one of us, we would be assured that the money's in now, so why not give him another 10 spot, right?
He owes me 210 spots.
Money's in.
Money's in.
Bruce,
He's clap his hands. The money's
Bruce, what do you remember about when you first met Mark? How did you connect with him?
Talking to me?
I'm talking to Bruce.
I met him at the Comedy Store, and he was just standing out in front, screaming at the world. And I went, "This is odd," but it was very funny. And I went over to him, and I just started talking to him, and that's all I remember. And then he invited me in to watch him on stage, and that was it. And when we struck up a friendship, and he was really he was more funny off stage than he was on stage. Something weird about him. When he would get on stage, he was completely reckless in real life. He in the middle of a store, he could go into character, run around, do shtick, but on stage, he clammed up, and he wasn't what I thought he would be, but he was still a great guy, and he was so funny. I wanted to be around his energy.
Yeah.
He also
well said.
He also did a remarkable Frank Sinatra impression.
You did great impressions. Yeah. Doesn't look like Frank if you look at your screen on the right in the white shirt.
No, he doesn't look like Frank.
He had an ear for that stuff, so he could do impressions, and he could do singing impressions too.
He did a lot. He was extremely talented, but nobody could figure out what to do with that talent. Even Bud Friedman tried when they did Evening at the Improv. Remember, he was a cast member for a while.
Yep.
And they had started giving him some stuff in the beginning to do, and then I'm with you, Bruce. I could never figure out when that light went on. He didn't have the.
I was just going to say,
saw daily.
When the light went on, he became the camera, and he got too self-conscious. And yes, so there's very little captured of him. He did about 3 or 4 films, little like one line, Die Hard.
Right.
All these, actually, Die Hard he's okay because he just has 1 or 2 lines. But yes, something would happen. He would get very self-conscious.
Well, he was also. Go ahead, Rob. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, and I don't want to forget that my friend Lauren, who gave him a place to live for about 1.5 years, I think, has tons of recordings, surreptitious recordings of Goldstein going on and doing his characters, and then also ranting about the business. And it's the funniest stuff you'll ever hear. It's that unfettered Goldstein that nobody got to see but us. And someday we'll sit and we'll listen to these.
Well,
No,
that's
no,
what I was
that
going to
was
say is that he was so angry that it got in the way. You know, that switch, that line between being angry funny and angry just annoying, it's a very, very narrow line.
Yeah.
And he would cross over into it at the wrong time. I mean, we would go into meetings. He once told an executive we were pitching to how beautiful she was, this is way before Me Too, but it was so clearly inappropriate. It was
Oh,
insane. It was just cuckoo time. But he was innately incredibly funny. There's no question about it. He was his own worst enemy. You know, he blamed the business, but he unfortunately was his own worst enemy.
and
But
he is all over this script, all over Spaceman from Planet Judy.
yeah,
He used to act
absolutely.
out so many of the scenes, and
Yeah.
you know, they were all money.
Well, let's get to the essence of the script, which you see when we wrote it, it really was very pro-gay. The worst things we said were not worse. They were gay men like to dance, disco dance, and eat hors d'oeuvres. We virtually no dick jokes, and it was not a tacky gay approach. It was, and then at the beginning, Earth is rejoicing, like Bruce said. Oh, the gay men are gone; they can be annoying. And then all of a sudden, everybody has a bad haircut, and there's no party planners. Broadway shuts down, and now
Right.
Earth is pleading, pleading, pleading for the gay men to be returned. And then what happened? Because we should get to this, because it's an amazing irony. Is we literally wrote the end, and 20 seconds later, AIDS.
Yeah.
And we thought, and it's true, that what we had written accidentally was an allegory about AIDS, where at the beginning of it he said it's just a gay thing. Then, of course, it was not. And so that's exactly what we wrote without realizing it. It didn't matter. People were so terrified of anything with the word gay in it that we had to put it in a drawer and it remained there for, 40 years. Now, AIDS is certainly not gone at all, but clearly it's under control. And, gay men make fun of themselves all the time. You see any movie that has a gay character in it, he steals the movie every time, every time. So we have a whole movie of guys who are stealing the movie.
well,
Plus, the straight.
before AIDS struck, or before it became the big handwriting in the sky, we were introduced to John Davison, who was well known in the business, having produced Airplane. He would shortly produce Starship Troopers. He was a
Was it?
major.
I'm sorry, Steve. Was it Davidson or Davis?
I think it was
Davison.
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 I think John Davis was a
Oh yeah,
producer,
yeah.
but
No, yeah.
it was John Davison. He was a very kind of a nerdy guy. I remember us going down. I think we went down to Culver City.
Went to his office. Yeah.
We went to
Wait
his
a minute.
office.
Wait a minute. Can I tell the story? Because it
Yeah.
was really okay. So we're five guys, or four. Well, how many were we?
Five.
Right,
So-
4 J's. We used to go by 4 J's and a G. 4 Jews and a Gentile. Me being the Gentile.
We knew
I've
that.
I've since worked my way into being a part-time Jew or with a Yiddish cup, but yeah, I'm still waiting for them to officially welcome me in.
So we
Been
were
40 years.
we were an anomaly because writing teams, I would imagine at most were two guys.
Yeah.
So here we are five, and it's like we don't realize it because we're all buddies. We came up with this. We wrote it. We don't think anything. It's odd. So we go in and we pre-plan like a little mini play
Oh,
to
God.
surprise John Davison with, where we're going to walk in, we're going to look at him and go, sit down. And then we're going to play. We had we had a boombox.
Boombox, yeah.
The beginning of the movie, which is like a typical 50s science fiction, Earth, the final frontier kind of a thing, until Spacemen from Planet Judy, Judy, Judy. And then it turns into disco music. And we prepared this whole scene, and then we're going to be dancing with each other. And we actually brought licorice ropes. So we would I would put one end in my mouth, Billy would put the other end in his, and we would dance around. And we pull this off, and the man is he's like a meek kind of a guy anyway, and he's just staring at us. This bit is like we're starting to like have flop sweat because he's not reacting at all. And then he just sits down, and he looks at us and goes, "Do any of you have a cigarette?" And Goldstein's the only one that goes, "Yeah, I got a cigarette." And he takes the cigarette. He's like, his hands is like palsy, and he goes, "I'm very scared. I'm very."
Do you remember what he said? He said,
No.
"I haven't." He said, "I
Yeah,
haven't
I
had a
smoke.
cigarette in 2 years."
Right.
Oh, that's
Right.
And he lights it up, shaking. "I haven't had one in 2 years." Thank you. Very nervous about it. Yeah, it was. I mean, we were like, it was a takeover. It's like a flash mob.
He was mortified, catatonic, out of
Yeah.
his mind. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which made it even funnier. I mean, in our heads, we knew how funny this was for the right audience, but he was not the right audience.
Oh my God,
Oh
no.
my God.
No, I don't know that we ever found that audience where five guys could walk in and go put on a boombox and start dancing around.
It
with
was
liquids.
so ballsy. It was so fucking ballsy.
And then of course the next day, practically the AIDS thing came, and we had to just. But we jumped into a new script. If you guys recall, we jumped into a script about accountants on vacation. I came up with a title. It was called Incompoops.
That's right.
We wrote that together about this group of nerdy accountants in Florida has to they're on vacation, but Price Waterhouse goes on strike and nobody's available to count the Oscar votes, so our little nerdy guys have to count the votes. Anyways, that's a sidetracking thing, but the script goes into the deep freeze. And by the way, we should tell you a little bit about the story. In addition to the fact that Mitch and Lenny, who originally were called, I think, Arnie and
Melvin.
Mervyn.
Mervyn.
Yeah.
And the guy who runs the Judy, his name is Golden Ram Man. He's a little guy with big horns coming out of his head, and he's actually a despotic ruler who, once Earth is cleaned of all the gay men, he's going to blow it up. So there's a very nefarious scheme going on. And then Mitch and Lenny, as you'll hear the movie eventually, and we'll tell you a little bit about our audio movie. They escape into the desert, the Great Judy Desert, and they get to Please Enter Me. And
what is Please Enter Me, Steve?
Please Enter Me is a colony of desperate, horny Amazon women.
Why are they that way, Steve?
Because they haven't had sex in at least 10 years.
Why is that?
Because only once every 10 years, when the comet reaches the farthest end of the galaxy, do the men of Judy become straight for one day, literally and figuratively.
Just to propagate the planet.
That's
Just
right.
to propagate the planet. So it's been many years, and they're desperate. They patrol the borders, searching for any any man they can find. Of course, Mitch and Lenny, once they cross the border, they're ready to get laid by 10,000 women.
Yeah, fresh meat. Here we go.
Something happens. So, I mean, it's a sexy script, but it's not over the top. Anyway, they meet
Wait,
Censura.
slow down. It may not be sexually over the top, but it is over the top.
Oh, no question about it. There's never been a movie like this ever.
And it is funny, and the situation. I mean, you've put five guys in my apartment. We cranked some really fun comedies. You know, I contributed a little bit story-wise, but you guys brought the humor and times 10.
Well,
Let
just
me
to
ask
make
you,
it,
Steve, do you guys remember, didn't we have somebody, it may have been right before the AIDS epidemic, didn't we have somebody, wasn't it, I want to say Elias and Eustace, who read a draft of it?
It was Michael Elias, who went on to do
Head of the Class, and some many other shows. There's a whole other
That's a whole other
careers.
Whole other story.
Right.
But they read it and wanted to I think they read the outline. And then
no. Billy Kent, who cuts my hair still to this day, Eustace was his client, and he gave it to him. No, he thought it was hilarious, absolutely hilarious. Do you remember the meeting, guys? We went to, forget where it was, where the guy drew a map of the United States on a blackboard. Do you remember this?
I'm not sure.
I know where you're going with it. Yes.
And he pointed to New York and California. He said, "That's who's going to see this." And then he drew a line over the entire rest of the country and went, "Nobody else."
I do remember that.
And by the way, he thought it was hilarious. This was 1,000% true. He said, "But when you get this movie made, please invite me. I can't wait to see it."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 1,000%. People were terrified.
That was a pretty big guy too. I wish we could remember his name. Yeah,
but there was nothing offensive about it. Just we're going back quietly 4 decades. You said the word gay. People were just terrified for all the wrong reasons. It was weird. They loved it, but nobody else loved it. It's strange because funny is funny. There's no comedies anymore. This is as funny as the script gets. It just is. And by the way, for this piece that if you guys show up, you'll hear it. We
I
got some
thought
of
we
the
heard
best.
it. You sent it to. It's the same
No,
one you
not
sent
you,
us.
not you guys. The people out there
Oh
in the
wait, you mean
uni-
is this being recorded?
Yes, in the
Let
Oh,
universe.
everybody
hi
who's
guys.
listening and
We got some of the.
watching at
We
the
got
end
some of
of
the.
our broadcast, we're going to give you the information so that you can get a ticket. But we'll tell you about that in a minute. I'm
But
sorry.
I just
Go
want to
ahead.
say quickly, we got some of the great voice actors in the business to play these parts. So
Well,
it's
let's tell them what happened because the script went
yeah,
into a drawer. The
Yeah.
Olympics year was over, 85, 86, 87, everything. The time passed. If this was a movie, the calendar pages would be falling off, the seasons would
right,
be
right.
changing, our hairlines would be changing, except for Bobby. And then basically, about 2 years ago, I read an article in the Hollywood Reporter that said that podcasting companies were purchasing the rights to make feature-length movie podcasts, essentially 30s radio drama in the 2020s, except in our case, it's a comedy. And I started to look into this, and I said to Billy one day, I said, Billy, it's not going to cost us an arm and a leg. Let's get some actors. Let's record Judy and see if we can get this made as a podcast movie. Now we're just talking audio only. So there's no picture. To get a movie like Judy made today would cost a minimum of $10 million dollars and probably much more than that.
Well, don't forget with CGI, we can certainly save money. But yeah, one of the reasons we did it is because it's a great sales tool to help sell the movie. Because if you guys show up and you hear this, as funny as it is to hear it, you can only your brain's going to be conjuring up all kinds of images, and to see them on the screen would be incredible. But let me also add, when Steve came across this article, we realized we had to do an update. We had Merv Griffin jokes, which didn't really play 40 years later. So we had to do not a major rewrite, but we had to make a lot of changes in the references, et cetera, just so it at least had some credibility today. And we did, clearly.
Right. Yeah, a lot of updated with cell phones and just everything that you would have
Yeah,
to have in it. Right.
right, right. That's all.
No, exactly. And but some of the things that were funny in 1984 are still funny. So
Absolutely,
basically,
absolutely.
Billy and I sat down. We could have stood, but we sat. And
Right.
Billy opened his Rolodex, and Billy knows every personality in town, or if he doesn't know the person, he knows somebody who knows them. When we started to assemble the cast, one of the first people he called was Paula Abdul. And Paula Abdul is a friend of Billy's. Billy helped her in her battle against Simon Cowell on America's Got Talent. Those zingers,
American Idol.
American Idol. Basically, Billy gave her the zingers to zing back Simon, and he was the hero. So Paula was our first cast. She was cast to play Censora, Queen of the Pleasantines, and she's quite something, as you'll hear. And then we, through a friend, we got to Phil Hendry, and Phil
Oh,
Hendry is a legend in
by the
What a
the.
way,
talent.
it was
What
not
a
through a friend,
talent.
Steve. It was not through a friend. You sent the script cold. Phil Henry, for you guys who don't know, was a genius. I mean, he's a stone cold genius. Bruce knows very well. He was a
The
huge fan.
documentary out. I forget the name. We should have that in the notes or whatever, Steve, you can post to the documentary of Phil Hendry, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, well, he's a brilliant talent. He would have a radio show where people would call in to speak to the guest he would have, and they would go crazy because he'd have crazy guests on. The twist was he was playing the guest and the people calling in. So you would have a three-way argument with himself, and it was mom. You could not tell because his what they call voice separation was so perfect that it sounded like three people on the phone. It was insane. Anyway, the point is, Steve, you found out I think his manager agent. You sent them the script. They read it immediately, which is unheard of. And they sent it to Phil, and he read it immediately, which is unheard of. And he said, I'm in. We figured when it was Bruce's idea, and we figured the chances were zero, just stone cold zero. And he was the first person who said yes. It was incredible. So,
And
whatever that is.
he plays Mitch. He plays one of the two lead characters, and he brought in his friend Hal Rudnick, who plays Lenny,
It was
and
brilliant, brilliant, brilliant,
both
brilliant.
brilliant. And then we started to assemble some wonderful actors, many of whom are good friends of Billy's. And most importantly, we got Mark DiCarlo to be our narrator. And the first thing we had to do with our screenplay is literally remove all the visual references because obviously there are no visual references. So we had to rewrite the basic narration track where Mark would tell you what's going on as if we're all blind. and he did a brilliant job. He knits together the story completely. But I'll just give you some examples of some of the people we
Let me just say one quick thing. For those of you who may remember, Mark was the host of a game show called Studs, which is like a naughtier version of the dating game. And he's got a million credits. He was the voice of Jimmy Neutron. He's a very, very talented guy. And he has what some people would look upon as the really dull role of the narrator. But it was so important for the continuity and to make this script really sing. And he added so much energy and life to this thing. It was pretty incredible. Go ahead, Steve. I'm sorry.
Oh, terrific. Yeah, he wasn't he MTV? Wasn't he part of the whole?
No,
No, yes, he was. Or
no, it wasn't.
VH1?
No,
Yeah, that's where he did a game show. All right.
no, that was Downtown Julie Brown. But they're often confused. They're often confused.
Buddy Hackett's son Sandy plays the president of the United States.
Who's in a dress most of the movie on Judy.
We've got John Mariano. We've got Sam Quasman. These are Class A voice artists. My friend Brian Dellett, who played Truman's father in The Truman Show, he's in the movie. Royal Oakes, who is a fine legal mind in Hollywood, he plays a number of the reporters. We have John Montana. Greg Binkley is a good friend of Billy's. He's hysterical in 19 different roles. Jan Karam, Keyshawn Giles, Lisa Pesha, just wonderful. Mark's wife, Yenny Alvarez, is in it. So we've assembled a terrific cast. And what we're inviting you to, if you want to come on February 28th, which is this coming Saturday, we're going to debut this weekend. We will be screening I shouldn't say screening. We will be providing the soundtrack at one of the rooms at the Chinese Theater, the TCL Chinese on Hollywood Boulevard. Is going to devote one of their auditoriums to us, and you can buy a ticket at 4:00 on Saturday. There will be a 12-minute video short, someone else's film, and then we will have our 93-minute feature. And if you want to come to purchase a ticket, just type into your Google Golden State Film Festival, and you'll get the ticket information. We are in R for Rocket. We are in Block R for Rocket.
There's something perfect, by the way, about the Golden State Film Festival and Planet Judy, since we have Golden Ram Man. It's just sort of it's kind of perfect, isn't it? Because he loves gold. Everything is gold for him. He's way over the top, and now it's the Golden State. It's just weird.
Didn't we? But speaking of Golden Ram Man, sorry, Steve, to interrupt, but didn't we write with Mel Brooks in mind, as I recall?
Back then, probably.
I just think, that we had. I think that was
we were pre-Spaceballs, so we were way ahead of our time in a way. By the way, speaking of alignment, I opened the newspaper the other day and I discovered on the day that our screening takes place on February 28th, 6 planets in our solar system will be aligned. It won't happen again till 2040. So, how they usually say that we hope the stars are aligned for our screening. Well, we've got something better. We've got the planets aligned.
There you go.
I like that. I like that a lot. It's great.
And we still won't have a deal.
Well, we were.
The money's going to be in. The money's going to be in.
No. Well, I think what's going to happen is now that we're a film festival film, we are separated from 9,000 other films, and the audio podcasting world will be getting us soon. And I have a feeling, on crossing my fingers, I can't quite cross my right fingers because I broke my wrist on Christmas Day when I took my dog out to the backyard for a little whiz and slipped on a wet pea pad. So I've been telling everybody this very romantic story.
That's I'm sorry to hear that. I mean,
More.
What?
More. I want to hear more about that.
That's Bruce being sarcastic. That's what he does.
By the way, Bruce, just so you know, every time Billy and I get together to write, we're always quoting you.
Let me. While I'm thinking about it, I read this to Bruce the other day. My friend Lauren sent me a. I won't spell that too. It was just a comment that Goldstein made about that he had somehow recorded. Oh shoot! I don't know if I'll find it now. Never mind. What did he say, Bruce? I sent it to you. The Goldstein. Yeah, you laughed your head off. If Goldstein said, "Oh, that's Smirnoff. He's got no career. He plays these shitty clubs. He's got nothing." I just sent it to you the other day. Anyway, yeah.
Yet he's one of the few comedians on the planet I actually quote. I will tell this joke till the day I die. I'm going to let Bruce do it. Bruce, what is the last stop? How would you characterize a Jewish singles dance?
Oh, it's the last step before out and out homosexuality.
That's it. Not only in your act, but that's in your amazing one-man show, which everybody should go see. Billy's actually in it as well on YouTube. It's on my channel and it's on yours, right, Bruce? Or
And
where?
you're the one that downloaded it for me. Thank you.
Yeah, put a link. Put a link to Steve.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I'll put a link when I promote, absolutely, because we do a big social media promotion for this day. But Bruce is one of
And
the
Billy
few
was very brave. He gets beaten up pretty good in this by Bruce. What is my friend? You'll see. What has my best friend done for me? Who's now making millions of dollars on home improvement? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
But he was so because that was his only acting. Because when he said nothing, he meant it. He really meant it.
Yeah, he did.
He hated me so much. Because, anyway, we're giving away the whole.
It's worth it.
By the way, just going back in time a little bit, spending that summer with you guys in my apartment working on this script was such a joy and such a memorable occasion. In fact, I think Bob, at one time we thought about doing a play about the making of Judy, just showing some of the interactions. But
funny. It's funny.
Yeah, it is a funny idea. It's like what's the laughter on the whatever floor? I can't think of the floor.
23rd floor.
23rd floor, yeah.
No, exactly. So everybody, this is your time to plug something that you'd like to plug.
Steve, can you lower your head so we can see the whole logo?
There you go.
But then it's on you. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's good. Wait, keep going.
Great.
Steve. Do a screenshot of it. Oh, that's perfect. Wow.
That was created this morning with AI.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
I want to take a picture. Do it one more time, Steve.
Okay,
This is really good for the podcast, I'm sure. All right, there you go. Sorry.
Okay. So we'll start with Bob. Plug something, Bobby.
I don't really have anything to plug other than I'm making this documentary about the making of Schindler's List.
Another comedy.
Do you have cooperation from Steven Spielberg?
We're talking to Steven, and I don't really have anywhere for people to reach out yet. We're reaching out to people. We have a number of people involved. We have directors, but I can't say too much other than it's taking up a lot of my time in a good way because it's about Leopold Poldek Pfefferberg, who was my landlord and friend in Beverly Hills, who was a survivor and a Schindler survivor, who was able to get in touch with an author, Thomas Keneally, and his lifelong quest of getting the story told, and he did, and he got Schindler's List turned into a book and then a movie, and it's an amazing story that needs to be told. So I will.
Right.
No. I remember vividly seeing them film for the first time in the Avco Theater in Westwood during a major earthquake aftershock. I was with my mother, and it freaked her out so much we had to leave. So we never watched the second half movie, so I watched it much later on. So very memorable.
People survive. I'll tell you the ending. People survive.
Yes, they do. Yeah. They put a little rock on the sarcophagus. I remember that. Billy, what would you like to tout?
Oh, I'm doing a movie called Schindler's Shit List. Just people that he really, really, really couldn't stand. And then the sequel is the Schindler's Grocery List, stuff that his wife said you have to go buy right now. And that's all I got. That's all.
Billy and I are in pre-production on a movie called 12 Anxious Men, which is a spoof of the great courtroom drama 12 Angry Men. We're very hopeful.
Great title.
Thank you.
Steve's title.
We're hoping to get that going in the spring. You'll be hearing more about it. And we've got a bunch of other things working on. Bruce, what about you? What can you promote?
I live in Delray Beach, Florida, in a 55 and over community.
It sounds like a timeshare commercial. This is very scary.
And you too.
Absolutely.
And you too. Be here. Just a quick down payment, you get it all. Swimming pool, entertainment. So I run the lights and sound in the theater. So we have these monthly meetings. So I came, that's why I was a little late tonight. We had a monthly meeting where it's all these people like in their 70s, 80s, and 90s accusing each other of stealing, because that's all it is every meeting. And then, and that's it. And I have 2 cats and I enjoy my life. And I get such a kick out of being with the guys again. I mean, it almost injects me with the urge to get back into show business. But I also work for
Come
an agency.
come on in, Brucey. Come
Not
in.
happy. I work for an agency and we book cruise ships. I know that sounds kind of wacky, but millions of people go on cruises. They need to be entertained. And there are thousands of really, really talented performers who are not going to make it for whatever reason, because very few people make it. But on ships, you get paid very well and you have an attentive audience, and these people love it. And I'm in the middle. I'm the interlocutor. Is that
Get
what
Billy? Why is it Billy? You should do it. Intermediary. Yes. What he said. Billy, you should do it. You'd be great.
They would be abandoned ship.
Well, Bruce, you did that for a while. Bruce, you actually performed. Did you enjoy performing on cruise ships?
It's not easy because you get rated. That's the only problem. So it has nothing to do with art. It's just you have to go out there and make these people laugh. And they have what's called the power of the pen. So these people, they come from all walks of life. They're not in show business. They know nothing about what you did on stage. And they, at the end of the trip, they get a sheet of paper and it's all the entertainers that they saw. And they have to fill out, did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you somewhat like it? Do you never want to see it? And you sweat it out every week, hoping that your ratings, once you get a certain, even 1 week, you get bad ratings. It's a corporation that owns the cruise ships, and they fire you, and they want nothing to do to you.
Just like that, one bad review, you're gone.
Well, I did have one situation like that, and they did take me back because I had to talk to the owner of the cruise ship company and tell him why this happened. And he goes, "No problem, you're back on." But yes, a couple of bad comments, you're off.
Wow. By the way, everybody, this is Kimmy. This is how I broke my wrist.
Oh, Kimmy.
This is a sweet. She's almost 15 and she's half blind, or 3/4 blind. But I have to take her out for a pee. So I want you guys to talk amongst yourselves for 30 seconds, okay? Just
you're taking her out to pee, really?
Yes. I'm handing her over to my wife. So
start the situation again.
Chat amongst yourselves for a second.
He's gonna break the other wrist. I can tell.
Billy, what do you got going on?
Oh God,
wait a minute. Are we still being recorded?
Yeah, we are. We have to fill an hour. No, what she didn't tell you, it's kind of interesting, because "Over the Rainbow" obviously is the most famous song from Wizard of Oz, and since it's called the Planet Judy, we do use a little bit of the theme of "Over the Rainbow" in the podcast, and obviously that's not public domain. So we figure we're screwed. There's no way we can use it, but it really comes at some very funny times. So this is crazy what I'm going to tell you. We looked into attaining the rights for a while. So take a guess if you don't know. So we have the rights to the instrumental version of "Over the Rainbow" for 3 years. How much do you think it cost us?
Well, I mean, ordinarily I would just think in the tens of thousands, if not more.
I know. Bruce, what do you think?
Well, obviously it's one of those extreme punchlines, so I'm going to say 99 cents.
Why would you do that? Why would you blow his punchline?
Oh, is that the punchline?
He's closest without going over $1,000.
Okay.
Which is astounding.
It is astounding. I know.
And I will tell you, we got this woman to conduct a mini orchestra, some genius songs, because, as I said, on this planet, people love to dance. It's just funny. Well, and she came up with some great music. We used the instrumental version of "Over the Rainbow," and she wrote an original song, which is, you'll hear, I think it plays over the end credits. It's great. It's great. If we ever got this movie made, she'd be nominated for an Oscar. I swear to God, it's a really good, and it fits in perfectly with the vibe of the film. But it all started when we actually got the rights to "Over." I mean, go figure. I mean, I would have thought.
You're talking about Silva, who's the wife of Noah Burlow. Noah Burlow is our co-producer and our post-production supervisor, our effects editor. He came to our rescue and gave us a wall-to-wall sound style and pattern that makes the show really bounce. This is not just a bunch of people talking in a studio. This is a full-blown movie
Yeah.
that you can enjoy. You don't have to even close your eyes. Your eyes could stay open. But we're very excited about presenting it. And then again, I'll mention that the listening will take place in Hollywood on Saturday, February 28th at 4 o'clock in the afternoon in one of the theaters at the Chinese. And when you order your ticket, and you just Google Golden State Film Festival and look under Block R, R for Rocket or R for Ruben, and you'll find the 4 o'clock screening, and you'll buy a ticket. And we'd love to see you all there.
Steve, are we going to project what's behind you on the screen during the entire film?
There will be a version of that up when we announce the title. I don't know if it'll be up the whole film, but it'll be there. And it'll be interesting. I don't think anybody has ever had a listening experience like this in Hollywood, especially at a film festival. So we're very excited about that.
Yeah, well, just tell them quickly how it happened, because it's so randomly weird.
Well, Noah Burla, who I've just mentioned, we were trying to figure out where are we going to premiere. We thought about having our own screening in a screening room, but when you add up the cost of renting screening rooms and everything, it's very expensive. And then he has had a film in the Golden State Film Festival a few times, so he knows the guy there. But it turns out that the guy who runs the Golden State Film Festival, I know the guy. His name is Peter Green. He's a delightful guy. Our kids went to school together, so we're in. You know,
Well,
Mark Goldstein used to come and say, "We're in." Well, we're really in.
No,
It's a
but
deal.
let's be completely, honest and fair. He read the script and he liked it. He heard the thing. If he would have hated it in show business in this crazy town, he could have been your brother, and he would have said, "I don't think so," because people don't care about that. He doesn't want to humiliate and embarrass himself if he thinks the project is crap. So he heard it and he went, "Yeah, it's great." Certainly, it helped that you're his friend, but he gave the thumbs up, which is exciting. So, and he wants to be known for doing something a little risky, and this is, because this has truly never been done, which is weird.
Billy, you got to raise your head a little bit, and people can't see your mouth.
Well, if they don't know it by now, their problem. So anyway, yeah, we got very lucky, and we're hoping that this thing can really take off. So we'll see what happens. Hope
Are you gonna do any emceeing? Introducing it.
Well, not only am I going to be introducing it, you and me and Billy will be introducing it. And also at the end of the listening, we will be doing a Q&A with the audience.
Maybe.
We'll also be on the red carpet. We're going to take some pictures. It's going to be a very exciting day. Bruce, I'm laying the big guilt up trip on you. We'd love to see you put them there. So think about it.
I'll check airfares when we get off tonight.
Great. And it'll be just great.
Who could believe that face? Billy, are you buying that, what he just said?
No.
I'm gonna be there. I'll be there. Yeah, that's
not even close. Matter of fact,
Try again, Brucey.
I just sold my timeshare after the face he made.
Everyone, you have been listening and watching Saturday Night at the Movies. We're delighted to have you part of our show today. Gentlemen, you've been great. If you liked our show, by the way, don't hesitate to give us a thumbs up. If you can figure out a way to do it, that would be nice. And I also always throw in a plug for my other podcast, Tales from Hollywood Land, which I co-host with Arthur Friedman and Julian Schlossberg, two other producers. And Tales from Hollywood Land you can find in any type of Google situation. Although Google, I think, Billy, what's your Google alternative these days? What do you like?
My Google alternative?
Yeah, you said there's a place you can go to that answers every question. What is it?
Perplexity.
Perplexity. If you find, you can find Tales from Hollywood Land and Stephen J. Rubin's Saturday Night at the Movies on Perplexity. And we are also have a YouTube channel. We also are on a fast channel called True TV Plus, and we're all on your favorite platforms. Gentlemen, delighted to see you all today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Steve. I think we may be having the works Three Jews and a Gentile podcast coming up, our own special podcast. There you go.
It was fun.
Okay.
Great to see everybody.
Gotta go.